This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us on this Wednesday. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thank you so much for joining us. Ray Collins has the morning off, but let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi. And John, I got a chance to head out to the beach yesterday, and it was unbearably hot out there. It was so hot.
Yep, no other way to describe it.
Yeah.
It was 92 degrees close to the
goodness.
coast, so you can imagine inland temperatures coming in at around 93, 94 degrees, and the feels like temperature up near 100. In fact, over 100 in many locations. So, yeah, it was steamy. We did have a few scattered showers around, mostly during the evening hours. It took a while for them to get going, but about 4 or 5 o'clock there were two really big boomers around. Less than average coverage, but right around the fireworks time, we had one shower that popped up right off the coast. Really didn't interfere too terribly much with the fireworks display going off. In fact, some say even enhanced it, as they saw a background of lightning occurring with the fireworks displays in front of that. So it was kind of cool. We're looking at quiet conditions to start your morning, though. If you are back to work this morning, should be no issues with your morning commute. A lot of dry skies out there currently. I think today we have an even better chance of seeing some showers and thunderstorms blossom. We'll go with about a 20% chance by early afternoon and then build on that as we head into the later afternoon. We'll have the complete forecast for you, including what's up this weekend, coming up in just a few. Back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, John. Looking forward to talking to you. Taking a look at traffic, it is time to head back to work. Unfortunately, the holiday is over, so it looks like some congestion picking up on State Road 70 as you're heading towards I-75. 41 and 301 looking good as we head into Sarasota County. Pretty quiet throughout that area. Some congestion on Clark Road, also on 41 heading southbound. As we take a look into South County, looks like there is a little slowdowns on Business 41, but other than that, no accidents at 5:02 on your Wednesday morning. Topping our news this morning, thousands of people poured into Bayfront Park in Sarasota for the 22nd annual 4th of July fireworks show. Colorful pyrotechnics lit up the sky over Sarasota Bay, and our Rick Adams was there for all the festivities.
Beautiful colors lit up the night sky over Sarasota Bay Tuesday night. Each year, it's a display that gets thousands of folks excited.
I've been coming here for many years to see the fireworks. It's a beautiful sight and beautiful area to do it.
I think they do a better job each and every year, so we keep coming back.
Red, white, and blue were the colors of the day. These are colors that Michelle and James were looking forward to wearing to honor America's birthday and enjoy a great fireworks show as well.
He loves fireworks.
Yes,
anything that explodes makes him happy.
There were a lot of explosions and bright colors for the people to enjoy. Crew members from Zambelli Fireworks spent many hours on Monday and Tuesday preparing for the big show, even in the rain at times.
We have been here for about 14, 15 years now. We have a computer choreographed 22-minute display.
Best part is that it doesn't cost anything for anyone attending the fireworks show in Bayfront Park and the surrounding areas.
This one is free, and it's good because you've got the breeze coming right off the water and beautiful city fireworks right here.
Although the fireworks display is free, the Marina Jack restaurant uses this event as a fundraiser for Suncoast Charities for Children. And with that, there's only one thing left to say for this holiday.
Happy 4th of July!
In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
There were also massive crowds filling America's #1 beach yesterday. Traffic was bumper to bumper for several hours, and parking was nearly impossible to find. By 8:30 a.m., the public parking lot on Siesta Key was already full. Early in the day, sheriff's deputies were directing drivers to other available lots further from the water, but even by midday, those lots were already full as well. On the back streets, people were renting parking spaces on their own private property for money. But it was the free trolleys that saved the day.
I'm escorting them since they're a little bit ways from the beach. I'm escorting them from the parking spots to the beach, from the church to the beach, or I'm bringing them out to the village because once you get a parking spot, you don't want to lose it. So the best thing I can do is provide the service for them to get back and forth A to B, wherever they need to go.
Many visitors even stayed on Siesta Key to watch the fireworks show that happened at 9 o'clock last night. And it was also an extremely busy day on the water. Florida leads the country with more than 700 boating accidents last year, involving 67 fatalities and more than $10 million in damage. Statistics from the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission show that not only was alcohol a factor in many of these accidents, operator speed and inexperience played a crucial part as well. Boat instructors throughout the Suncoast were out making sure that everyone was prepped before they hit the waters yesterday, all in an effort to reduce minor accidents that can lead to major damage.
People pulling in, they're bumping into each other's boats, or at the sandbar, somebody's anchor will come loose and the boat swings, and we'll hit strike another vessel out there.
June had the most accidents of any month so far this year, with 94 accidents throughout the state. And now that all of the festivities are over and big crowds are back home, there's likely some work to do this morning. You can help clean up the trash and litter left behind on our area beaches. Volunteers are still needed for the Liberty Litter cleanup this morning. Crews will be out at Siesta Key, Lido Beach, South Lido Beach, Nokomis Beach, North Jetty Beach, and Blind Pass Beach from 7 a.m. until 9 a.m. Meanwhile, a local nonprofit kicked off what it's hoping will be an annual 4th of July celebration yesterday. The Bauer Foundation teamed up with Joseph Storehouse Restoration Center to host the first annual Red, White, and Blue barbecue. More than 400 homeless and disadvantaged residents were in attendance. Organizers say without the event, many participants would have gone hungry during the 4th of July holiday.
We decided to do a July 4th celebration to feed those in need, or those maybe would go without, or maybe those that just had no companionship today. Hot dogs, hamburgers, chips, soda, water, and just kind of make it a little party for them.
Organizers say their goal was to show those in need that they are not forgotten. 2 teenagers are recovering this morning after allegedly being beaten and robbed on Monday night. According to Manatee County deputies, 2 teens were walking along 12th Street West in Bradenton when another man walked up to them and offered to sell them drugs. When the victim said no, the suspect attacked one of them. That's when several other people began beating the 2 teens as well. The suspects then took their money and ran off. If you know anything about those suspects, you're being asked to contact the Manatee County Sheriff's Office immediately. A popular seafood restaurant on Siesta Key is closed this morning after a truck smashes through its front window. Take a look. It all happened yesterday morning around 9:30 at the Lobster Pot restaurant on Ocean Boulevard. Troopers say 62-year-old Ernest Foraker of Pennsylvania lost control of his pickup truck and went straight into the front of the building. Luckily, the restaurant was closed at the time. However, the entire storefront was damaged, including the frame and several tables and chairs. Troopers believe Foraker suffered a medical episode just before the accident. He was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital and is said to be in stable condition this morning. Now to the debate over the need for affordable housing in North Venice. A developer wants to build a 510-unit condo complex for working people who are struggling to pay rent. Our Christopher Brantley has more on the concerns over this development moving forward.
This is the property in question. It's off Knights Trail in North Venice. The developer, Economical Housing Development, would like to build 510 units geared towards people who work but can't afford a large rent payment. John Ryan, president of the Venice Chamber of Commerce, supports the idea.
We're going to lose even more employee opportunities as time goes on if we don't do something.
The property is very close to businesses like PGT and Tervis Tumbler, both of which supply thousands of jobs, many of which are paid hourly. Last week, City Council heard from members of the community, some of which said hourly wage earners are often overlooked.
I believe working with the private sector gives us the best chance to achieve a long-term, sustainable solution to the problem of attainable workforce housing.
City Council member Fred Fraze is limited on what he can say about the project until a final vote is taken. But he did tell us there are other developments being built in the same area. He fears whether the infrastructure can support it.
In my mind, it's getting out of hand, whether it's the roads, police and fire not being able to keep up with the growth.
Others have taken a different approach in expressing their opinion. In one email sent to City Council, a Venice resident shared a concern that the complex could attract, quote, undesirables, drug addicts, thugs, thieves, and prostitutes, unquote. Going so far as to say it might turn into the hood or a ghetto. Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
An update now on a busy road and bridge closure in Sarasota. Osprey Bridge is now open to pedestrians and bicyclists. According to city officials, Osprey Avenue between Hillview Street and Mound Street is expected to reopen to vehicles by July 14th. The road was previously closed last July for construction on Lift Station 87, so crews could do micro-tunneling work on the bridge over the Hudson Bayou. It's all part of a major project to replace the current lift station. The new station is scheduled to be finished by 2020. A follow-up now on how the city of Sarasota is handling medical marijuana. City commissioners are extending the ban on dispensaries within city limits. The ban will hold for only 60 days while commissioners work on an ordinance to regulate the dispensaries. The Sarasota Police Department has been meeting with commissioners about those rules, and last October the city put a 6-month ban into place. It's been in the works for more than a year and a half. A new internal medical practice will finally be open in the community of Newtown in Sarasota today. A grand opening ceremony for the Sarasota Memorial Internal Medicine Practice is set for 1 o'clock. It'll offer full primary and preventative care for anyone 18 and older. The office is located on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Way, and the practice is expected to serve as many as 1,800 patients in just its first year. The community is invited to come out to meet the physicians and enjoy tours and refreshments today, again starting at 1 p.m. And check out this video from one of our Good Morning Suncoast viewers. Jack Elka sent us this video of a very crowded Manatee Beach Park yesterday as people packed the sands to celebrate the 4th of July. Jack's drone shows us just how many people hit the beach, with more, of course, pouring in later on the day to watch the fireworks. Thank you so much again, Jack, for such a beautiful shot. Love that. Absolutely gorgeous water. Now, if you took any pictures yourself or any video this holiday weekend that you'd like us to feature on the show, you can still send it to us on our website at mysuncoast.com or on our Facebook page. You can also head over to Ray, my, or John Scalzi's Facebook page as well. The link is right there on the TV, as you can see, and we would love to see some of those pictures that you guys took for 4th of July. I personally did not get any chance to see fireworks, so if you could send me some fireworks video, I would be very happy to see some of that.
Heard them.
I heard them.
I heard them, so did the dogs.
Yes,
they heard them.
See them.
No, I didn't see them either. We're looking at some pretty quiet conditions to start off your morning, but I think by later on today, nature will have its own little set of fireworks for us again. We'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Pretty good tease there. Thank you so much, John. Still ahead, we'll take you to a popular area restaurant where Linda Carson speaks with our latest amazing Suncoast woman. And coming up a little later in the hour, President Trump is set to leave Washington today for the G20 summit. What you can expect as the president makes his way to Germany for a series of highly anticipated meetings. Stay with us. We'll have those stories coming up.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
A promise was made. A promise that hit the beaches of Normandy. A vow that captured Iwo Jima. A contract that weathered Tet. A pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq. An IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now, we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
A couple of our viewers went down to see the final game of the Fort Myers Miracle, and check out what they got. Can you see it in the picture there? Hard to see. Let me zoom in a little bit. Can you see it right there? The Cade water spout from one of the thunderstorm clouds that built, and pretty impressive picture. It's kind of neat, actually. Very difficult to see. Most people probably didn't even notice it was there, but these keen-eyed observers managed to catch that shot and send it in to us. We sure do appreciate that. Sometimes nature is tough to see in its subtleties, but it's always something to see if you look up in the sky. Current conditions across the region, we're looking at 76-degree air temperature with a dew point of 73. East-northeast wind comes in lightly at about 5. I think today we still have this easterly wind flow. It'll vary from northeast to southeast, but it'll still tend to encourage those showers that form inland to gradually drift back to the coast. It might be a little bit stronger today than it was 24 hours ago and keep our sea breeze pinned a little bit closer to the coast than it was yesterday, though we did have some coastal showers around late in the day yesterday. 75 degrees in Mayaca, Wauchula, Parrish comes in at 76, so's Bradenton and Lakewood Ranch, Sarasota the same, 80 Longboat Key. We have 78 degrees in Venice and Inglewood, 77 in Northport, and Punta Gorda comes in at 75 degrees. So not a lot of activity currently. Things are pretty quiet out there. I think we probably expect to see that throughout the morning hours and into the early afternoon. We do have a few scattered showers out in the Gulf waters, but the general flow of air across the state is pretty evident here by the direction of motion of these radar echoes. That's going to be the case probably for the next several days. We'll have this general southerly flow of air producing the moisture necessary to fuel our afternoon showers and thunderstorms under the heat that will be in the low 90s most everywhere. And the feels-like temperature even warmer than that. What we're looking at across the state of Florida is the projection for just your standard thunderstorms, nothing terribly severe today. If you're traveling, the severe weather threat exists in the northern tier states and also in the deep south, stretching from about the Dallas area all the way through the airport hubs of the Carolinas. So watch for that if you're traveling. There could be some delays due to that. High pressure, the dominant weather feature, still remains our driver, bringing our winds up out of the southeast under the underbelly. The high-pressure ridge may lift a little bit to the north with time over the next 24 hours. As it does that, it may help to actually strengthen our southeasterly flow just a little bit, enhancing our rainfall chances a tad. Tomorrow, we might see a little bit of drier air filter in that'll slightly reduce coverage, but I think as we head into the weekend, our rain chances are back up to the 50 percentile. 60% even chance of rainfall as we get that southeast wind pushing those storms right back toward the coast. We continue to monitor the tropics, and in the next half hour, we'll update you on the course of that developing system down to the south, which will probably be called Dawn before too terribly long. We're looking at a 40% chance of rain showers for the next couple of days, followed by increasing rain chances for the weekend. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at traffic, looks like Manatee County, a little congestion and slowdown on State Road 70 and 301. Other than that, looking pretty good on your morning commute. Some smooth sailing as we head into Sarasota County. However, traffic picking up on Bee Ridge, Clark Road, and 41, especially where it splits into 301. I-75 looking good, though, as you head into South County. Pretty quiet throughout that area. Just our normal slowdowns as you head through Venice and Nokomis, 520 on your Wednesday morning. We find today's amazing Suncoast woman in a popular area restaurant. From Africa to Bradenton, Amanda Horn has worked to help others no matter where her life has led her. Our Linda Carson has more.
One amazing thing about the Suncoast is how involved local businesses are in our community. And one reason Amanda Horn is such an amazing Suncoast woman is she uses her time and her talent to make this a better place to live for those less fortunate. The Suncoast is a long way from the land of Amanda's birth.
Originally, I was born in Zimbabwe, Rhodesia. Both my brother and I were adopted there at birth.
Her father was a farmer who imported cattle from Austria.
My brother would lead the prize cow, her name was Bloom, in his little lederhosen and stuff, and I would sit in my little dirndl around the agricultural shows and stuff to advertise the breed of cattle.
When she was 12, she and her family moved to England.
I've been so blessed in my entire life. I was adopted in a country that was war-torn. If I hadn't have been adopted by wonderful parents who decided to leave the country because of my brother and I, where would I be today? I could have been in an orphanage in a war-torn country in the middle of Africa.
Her first marriage brought her to Bradenton. The marriage ended, but she stayed. Her passion was education, and she volunteered for Pace Academy.
They're girls who are at risk of not completing high school. They go into small classrooms. It's just 54 girls in the school, and it's a year-round school.
And she met John Horn, owner of the Anna Maria Oyster Bar restaurants.
John and I met at the Anna Maria Island Community Center. He was on the board of directors, and I was a donor, and it was at a Christmas party.
And she continued her work in the community at the Women's Resource Center.
I actually worked part-time for them for a long time, but we've been really big supporters of them. I love the fact that they've merged. The Sarasota and Manatee have merged.
And they're partnering with the Manatee County School District this summer, offering breakfast and tutoring programs at their Ellington restaurant to kids who need extra help in school.
Once they've had breakfast and been fed, then there's a group reading session with, we've hired a teacher coordinator from the school district for the summer. And then each of the children go with their mentor to a table or a corner.
And the kids get backpacks full of supplies and T-shirts that allow them to eat at the Anna Maria Oyster Bars free. And Amanda Horn's life lesson?
To me, knowing that you've made a difference in one person's life, whether it be an adult or a child, that means your life's been worthwhile.
Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
What a lovely story. Thank you so much, Linda. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, Apple is working on a new way to secure its upcoming iPhone, while the company is now looking to completely do away with the phone's fingerprint ID. And coming up at 5:30, the latest on a Florida woman recovering after being struck by lightning just a week away from her due date. We'll have that story when we come back.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get 1 more free. Call today.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with 1 telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
If you want 24/7 access to ABC7's breaking news stories, weather forecasts, traffic alerts, health reports, Suncoast View, and more ABC7 programming, now there's good news. Introducing the free ABC7 channel on Amazon Fire TV. Your 24/7 access to ABC7. Just search ABC7 on the streaming device and download the free ABC7 channel app. Or if you don't have an Amazon Fire TV, you can get one at Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Beautiful shot over downtown Sarasota this morning. Looks very clear out there. It is going to be a hot day today, so make sure you bring some water, some sunscreen if you are headed outdoors. It's 5:25 this morning. A judge is dismissing a lawsuit against Facebook, claiming they track users' internet activity even after they've logged off the site. Plus, a new study finds texting while walking can change the way you walk. ABC's Diane Macedo and Nick Watt have that and much more in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, your face could be the key to your next iPhone.
Apple reportedly is working on facial recognition to unlock the devices rather than fingerprints. Bloomberg News says Apple is also testing eye scanning to augment that system.
That new system is said to be faster and more accurate than fingerprint sensors. And a federal judge has given Facebook the green light to continue tracking users' internet activity even after they log off.
The judge has dismissed a lawsuit saying the plaintiffs failed to show that they had a reasonable expectation of privacy or that they had suffered any realistic economic harm. And here's another reason not to text while you walk. A new study says it makes you look funny.
Researchers in the UK found people who text while walking make exaggerated movements with their legs because they're apparently trying to avoid obstacles without looking up.
And those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites, brought to you by Eliquis.
I accept I take easier trails than I used to. I even accept I have a higher risk of stroke due to AFib, a type of irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. But no matter what path I take, I go for my best. So if there's something better than warfarin, I'll go for that too. Eliquis. Eliquis reduced the risk of stroke better than warfarin, plus had less major bleeding than warfarin. Eliquis had both.
Don't stop taking Eliquis unless your doctor tells you to, as stopping increases your risk of having a stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking Eliquis, you may bruise more easily, and it may take longer than usual for any bleeding to stop. Seek immediate medical care for sudden signs of bleeding, like unusual bruising. Eliquis may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures.
I'm still going for my best. And for Eliquis.
Ask your doctor about Eliquis.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I'm creating a job.
I am Goodwill, yeah.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
If you're not in control, then who is? Live above the influence.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that, you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team.
Just that simple act is transforming someone else's life.
It's one of the best feelings in the world.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons: leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you!
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, President Trump is heading out on his second trip abroad today. This time he'll be meeting face-to-face with Russian leader Vladimir Putin ahead of the G20 summit. Plus, the U.S. and South Korea respond after North Korea's latest missile test. We'll show you what the allied nations did to get Kim Jong-un's attention. And fallout continues after Chris Christie denies spending time with his family on a beach that he closed to the public. We'll show you how the internet responded to his claims. Those stories and much more right now on Good Morning Suncoast.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good morning, everyone. Glad to have you with us. Beautiful shot of downtown Sarasota this morning. Pretty clear out there as you are heading out the door at 5:32 this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jacqueline Matter. Ray Collins has the morning off, but let's check in with meteorologist John Scalzi. John, hot and humid as people are heading back to work today after the 4th of July holiday.
Absolutely. Hit 92 yesterday. We'll probably get pretty close to that today. And many places had heat indexes that cracked the 100 mark yesterday. So it's definitely a time to stay hydrated, and today will be again today. There'll probably be a few more showers around today than we saw yesterday. Now, there were a few around yesterday. It's July, and you're going to get some showers around. But we'll probably see a few more of them today. We had some showers pop up on radar during the 5, 6 o'clock hour. I know I had to dodge a few as I was barbecuing last night. And then around 9 o'clock or so, we had one pop up, just one, absolutely one, in central Sarasota. That one cell rapidly moved out into Gulf waters, and the fireworks got off without too much of a hitch. In fact, it made for a nice background to the fireworks with the lightning in the distance. Look for about the same sort of situation again today with a little bit better coverage. Lots of sunshine in the forecast to start off your day. We'll have a daytime high that'll top out in the low 90s. Feels like temperatures in the near the century mark. And the rain chance today, I'll put it about 10% higher than it was 24 hours ago, with about a 30% coverage as we head into the afternoon hours. Complete forecast for you coming up in just a few.
All right, thank you so much, John. Taking a look at Suncoast traffic this morning. If you're heading out the door in Manatee County, you're going to see a few slowdowns, on State Road 70 heading east and westbound, also 14th Street West. In Sarasota County, some slowdowns on Bee Ridge Road, also Clark Road as you're heading towards I-75. In South County, pretty quiet throughout that area. No accidents, which is good news at 5:33 on your Wednesday morning. Topping our news this half hour, a big day for President Trump as he heads overseas for his second foreign trip as president. His first stop will be Poland, then on to Germany for the G20 summit and the highly anticipated face-to-face meeting with Vladimir Putin. ABC's Emily Rao has the latest.
After a 4th of July celebration at the White House,
our country is doing really well.
President Trump now heads to Poland on the way to Germany for the G20 summit, and all eyes are on the Friday sit-down with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
I think Donald Trump is in a sort of a precarious position because one of the only friends he has is Vladimir Putin in the international community when he meets over in Europe.
But after praising Putin in the past,
I think Putin's been a very strong leader for Russia. If Putin likes Donald Trump, I consider that an asset, not a liability.
will the president press him on Russia's hacking of the U.S. election?
You would think he would have no choice, but all the reporting and all of the things we've heard is that he is not going to bring it up.
The White House won't say either way. Last week, downplaying the meeting altogether, calling it a normal bilateral discussion. But Russia, not so much. Instead, billing it as a full-fledged seated meeting, releasing a detailed agenda of Putin's points of interest, ranging from the war on terror to sanctions imposed by President Obama in response to meddling in the election. The Russian hacking in the election, definitely the elephant in the room in this meeting. Another big item on the agenda, though, how to deal with North Korea. Emily Rao, ABC News, Washington.
And this all coming as the U.S. and South Korea conduct a joint military exercise. The action comes hours after U.S. military analysts say North Korea launched a probable two-stage intercontinental ballistic missile early yesterday. The missile reportedly ignited and stayed in flight for 37 minutes. The launch has put U.S. officials on high alert, and U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says America will bring North Korea's action before the United Nations Security Council as soon as today. And while the president heads overseas to work on improving foreign policy, the Secretary of Homeland Security is planning a trip to Mexico today. DHS announced the planned trip last night. They say Secretary John Kelly will travel to Mexico City, where he'll discuss issues affecting the U.S. and Mexico with Mexican officials, including confronting transnational criminal organizations and promoting regional security and economic cooperation. Kelly is expected to be in Mexico City for 2 days. Meanwhile, in London, despite huge offers, the health of a terminally ill British infant has changed very little. Baby Charlie Gard is suffering from a rare genetic disease that has left him severely brain damaged. The child is waiting to be treated in the United States with a trial therapy, and nearly $2 million have been raised to help him leave Britain for that treatment. Even President Trump has offered to help, but hospital specialists have said the experimental therapy will not help. 3 British courts have ruled in Charlie's best interest to be allowed to die with dignity. His parents are currently spending time with their son before he's taken off life support. In New Jersey, state parks and beaches reopened yesterday just in time for the 4th of July. Late Monday night, Governor Chris Christie announced a budget deal to end the state's government shutdown. The governor also addressed the criticism over his family visit to a beach near his residence. The state-run beach was closed to the public as a part of government shutdown.
Let's be really clear. That's our residence, and we have a right to be there whenever we want to be there.
Social media had a field day with the trending hashtag Beachgate, sparking memes of the lounging governor dropped in iconic scenes all the way from Forrest Gump to the Oval Office. The outgoing governor is right now America's least popular governor, with one poll showing his approval rating at just 15%. Meanwhile, here in Florida, a follow-up now on a missing woman as the FBI and Coast Guard beef up their investigation in the disappearance of Isabella Hellman. The newlywed was on a boating trip with her husband when their catamaran took on water about 30 miles off the coast of the Bahamas back in May. Her husband tells the Coast Guard he was asleep when the boat hit something and that he could not find his wife. So he signaled for help and got onto a life raft. Hellman's family has accused him of killing her, but he's denying that. The FBI has also searched the couple's condo for evidence. A woman is still recovering in a hospital in Fort Myers this morning after being struck by lightning. 26-year-old Megan Davidson was just 7 days from her due date when she was struck in the head by a lightning bolt last Thursday in front of her home. She remains in intensive care, but family members say her condition is improving. Doctors ended up delivering her baby, who is also being closely monitored, and friends and family are now asking for prayers and support.
They have a beautiful family. Matt, I just want everybody to just keep praying. Everybody, if this is going to be showed, just anybody out there, just continue to pray.
Davidson is also a mother to 2 other children. Meanwhile, a man is grateful to be alive this morning after almost losing his hand in a fireworks explosion. Elliot Andrews of Fort Lauderdale lost a few of his fingers when a firework exploded in his hand last week. He says he was lighting the firework and it exploded too quickly. Andrews went for a checkup yesterday where doctors said he was lucky they were able to reattach several of his fingers. However, they could not save his index finger.
Yeah, it could have been worse. I could have lost my whole hand.
A similar incident also happened Monday in the same area. As for whether he'll light fireworks again, Elliot says he's not going to let this bring him down. He'll just be more careful next time. In Fort Pierce, all caught on camera, a man drives his car into an apartment building, killing himself and trapping a woman inside her apartment. 18 other people are displaced this morning after that incident. Police believe the man and woman got into an argument and he crashed into the building intentionally. They say he had 4 propane tanks in his car. Well, soaring temperatures across the Sunshine State can pose dangerous risks for both humans and pets. In Boynton Beach, police had to smash a car window to rescue a dog from a hot vehicle. Take a look. The dog was spotted by a passerby while the owner was inside of a bank. The car's engine was off, all those windows were rolled up, and after waiting nearly 15 minutes, police smashed the car window and gave the dog some water. The owner was not arrested, but police later issued a stern warning on Facebook saying it's never okay to leave your pet in an unattended vehicle. And John, we know all too well about that with hot temperatures. I mean, you were saying 92 highs yesterday. That's absolutely insane. And to leave your poor dog in a car with no air conditioning, no water.
It's not a good thing.
No.
Temperatures can get up to 130 degrees inside of a car pretty quickly, you know, and it's perfectly legal to smash the window on a car to rescue a dog.
It is, it's very true, or a child or a person as well.
That's right, absolutely right. And we also have to remember their little feet on the hot pavement walking around. They get lots of burns. I was talking to a vet the other day. They're seeing lots of burns now on the pads of dogs' feet walking on, especially, you know, dark colored pavement.
Yeah, I think there's actually a saying, if it's too hot for you, it's too hot for your dog as well.
You're absolutely right. We have across our region today more showers and thunderstorms in the works. We'll talk about it in a sec.
All right, thank you, John. Still ahead, we take a look at the effectiveness of a new diet trend called alternate day fasting. That's next in your Health Smart.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-747-0618. 800-747-0618.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
Are you a soccer mom or dad? Regardless of their age or experience level, when your kids play soccer or any other sport, there's one person on the sideline who is key to help recognize and seek medical care for sports-related concussion. It's you. You need to know the signs and symptoms of concussion, and you need to act if you think your child has been injured. Remember, when in doubt, sit them out. To learn more, go to cdc.gov/concussion. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Special thanks to David Daly for sending in this video of the fireworks display last night. You can see not only the fireworks lighting up the sky, but there was also some pops of lightning from a storm out in Gulf waters that was producing a cool background as well. Also a lightning bolt coming right down through the fireworks displays just added kind of an additional spectacular look to the evening's events. Luckily, there were no real issues in terms of any kind of rain delays, so we were glad to see that, but it certainly was a spectacular evening for those folks who ventured out. Let's see if we can catch that one lightning bolt before we move on, and it should be coming soon. And there it is. Yeah, that's kind of cool, right? Yeah. Neat stuff. Anyway, glad that it didn't create any major problems at the coastline as the showers and thunderstorms ensued. We are looking now at pretty quiet conditions across the region. We have an air temperature coming in at 76 degrees and a dew point coming in at 73. Northeast wind fairly light at about 5. No rain around the area currently. Temperatures generally uniform. Upper 70s rather in inland areas too, near the 80-degree mark right along the coast. Pretty much exactly where we were yesterday. Lots of moisture in the atmosphere, keeping our nighttime temperatures warm and setting the stage for some very warm afternoon feels-like temperatures as well. We'll probably see those feels-like temperatures again crack the century mark, coming in around 101, 102, which is where we were yesterday. So be prepared for that one. Got some showers way out in the Gulf, but other than that, you can see the general storm motion is off to the north and to the west, an indication of a southeast wind flow again today, even though it is a very light one, and it has been somewhat shifting right at the surface. We're seeing the winds shift from northeast to southeast along the coastline, but the general integrated flow up to storm level is generally a southeast motion for the storms. We're looking at just standard thunderstorm activity across the state today. No severe weather anticipated on our scale here produced by the Severe Storm Prediction Center. We're just at the standard thunderstorm stuff. Now, to the north of us, there is a marginal risk for some severe weather through areas around Dallas on up through areas of the central Atlantic coastline. There could be issues there. But for us, expect to see just the chance of an afternoon thunderstorm a little bit higher today at about 30%, 40% tomorrow, and over the weekend, higher still. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Don. Taking a look at traffic, looks like 301 heading southbound, seeing an increase in traffic. Also, 14th Street West, I-75 has some smooth sailing as we take a look into Sarasota County. Bee Ridge Road, as you get off of 41, seeing an increase as you're heading towards the interstate. Also, 41 as you're passing by a Stickney Point Bridge heading south, seeing an increasingly large amount of traffic. And South County, pretty quiet throughout that area. Not a whole lot going on at 5:48, the day after your 4th of July holiday. In this hour's Health Smart, new research is looking at the effectiveness of alternate day fasting. ABC's Mara Shavacampo looks at whether this trendy diet can really help you lose weight long term.
It's quickly become a top choice for weight loss.
Now let's talk about this new diet craze. Watch what you eat 2 days a week and eat what you want the rest.
Alternate day fasting, a hugely popular diet that many swear by. But now, new research is doubting its effectiveness. Does fasting one day and then eating pretty much whatever you want the next day really work?
It's simply not sustainable, and it's also confusing because it can put you at risk of actually overeating on the days when you're able to quote-unquote feast.
On fasting days, you eat about 25% of your normal caloric intake. For someone on a 1,600 calorie diet, that's just 400 calories for the entire day. What does that look like? 3 ounces of grilled chicken, 5 almonds, a small apple, and half a cup of Greek yogurt. For 34-year-old Alicia Mazurek, it was a great jump start to weight loss. She lost 31 pounds in 10 months from eating just 500 calories 2 days a week. And Alicia says for her, it was easy to maintain.
I loved that I could still eat pretty much anything I wanted on the non-fasting days. So, you know, it was a small price to pay for still getting to eat cookies and drink beer and like have burgers and have bread.
But a recent study compares those on an alternate day fasting diet with those who simply cut their calories every day. The result, both groups lost approximately the same amount of weight.
So as long as you are reducing your food intake, it really doesn't matter what the pattern of calorie restriction is. You'll lose weight.
The study also found that the alternate day fasting group had a higher dropout rate, some arguing it's a tough diet to maintain long term.
If I decided spontaneously to take a bike ride or a walk through the park or walk home, I would be really hungry and tempted to eat a lot more than what was allotted for that day.
Interesting. Well, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, we'll update the top local headlines and we'll tell you who walked away winners at yesterday's famous Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Stay with us. We'll have that story coming up.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining. Hurricane season is here, and so is the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. This essential resource arms you with vital information you need to protect your family and property when severe weather threatens the Suncoast, including how to create your readiness plan and survival kit, shelter locations, what to do with pets, and important phone numbers. Visit mysuncoast.com and download the official Suncoast Hurricane Guide from ABC 7. Brought to you by Batteries Plus, the Florida Lottery, and Sarasota Glass and Mirror.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm going to show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
How long have we been married there?
For 76 years.
He was kind and generous to me before we married, and he was kind and generous to me all these years. We decided on Meals on Wheels because I was getting to the point where I couldn't do all the things that I had been able to do. We're the Spans. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Florida's coral reefs are declining. Bad news for our oceans and marine life. Fortunately, you can help, and you don't have to dive, you just have to drive. When you purchase Moat's Protect Our Reefs license plate, $25 goes directly to Moat Marine Laboratory, whose research, restoration, and conservation programs are helping this precious natural resource thrive once again. So get your Moat Protect Our Reefs license plate today. You just might hold the key to saving Florida's reefs.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Keep up with your investments and market trends by watching the ABC 7 Stock Report. Get a recap of all the day's stock market activity. Be sure to watch your Suncoast News at 6 for the ABC 7 Stock Report, sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Welcome back. Beautiful shot over the horizon on Sarasota this morning. Sun slowly coming up. Beautiful shot at 5:54 this morning. Here are some of the top local stories we're following for you on the Suncoast. Osprey Bridge is now open to pedestrians and bicyclists. According to city officials, Osprey Avenue between Hillview Street and Mound Street is expected to reopen to vehicles by July 14th. The road was closed since last July for construction on lift station number 87. And a popular seafood restaurant on Siesta Key is closed this morning after a truck smashes through its front window. It happened yesterday morning around 9:30 at the Lobster Pot restaurant. Troopers say a man lost control of his pickup truck and went straight into the front of the building. Luckily, the restaurant was closed at the time. And a new internal medical practice will finally be open in the community of Newtown in Sarasota today. The grand opening is set for 1 p.m. It'll offer full primary and preventative care for anyone 18 and older. Finally this hour, the reigning champ of Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest keeps his crown for yet another year. Joey Jaws Chestnut broke his own record at the 101st year of the eating competition. He devoured 72 hot dogs in just 10 minutes gross. His previous record was 70 last year. The win marks Chestnut's 10th title. On the women's side, one woman won her contest by eating 41 hot dogs and buns. She's also a reigning champ, getting her 4th straight win as well. And John, I don't know about you, but the one thing I do not eat, I'm not a picky eater, but hot dogs are not on my list.
That was just gross.
72?
That's gross.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, don't get it. I don't get it at all.
All right.
But I love hot dogs. I do. So.
All right, stick around. More news and weather coming up after this.